S&P 500 has held key support on the 4-hour chart, and rebound towards new records are now quite likely. I'll explain what I mean. We'll go through all the charts. Euro, pound, and yen. We'll look at some of the Forex trades and Forex overview. They're sort of stalling, but the way gold has been acting is suggesting the dollar could be upswinging pretty soon. And Bitcoin really unraveled and is sitting on major bear market support. I will show it exactly on the chart. All this and more in today's edition of MasterChartsTrading.com market recap for Friday, November 14, 2025. As always, like, share, make a comment in the video, even put thumbs up or smiley face. This will tell the algorithm for YouTube to spread the word about this video so more people can see and get the benefit of this video. If you're a subscriber, stay tuned. We'll be covering again quite a large number of various securities, market breads, some of the ETFs, including Cannabis and Psychedelics, some of the large cap stocks like Netflix and Verizon, as well as some of the speculative securities like Array Technologies, Medical Property Trusts, 10x Genomics, as well as Herbalife and Topgolf. So stay tuned. As always, I'll be using my proprietary Master Charts Trading price action indicators, which you can see on this chart. There's green, blue, red, and yellow lines, which you can find out more about by going into the description and following the link. So let's first look at S&P 500 on a shorter term frame. This is a 4-hour chart, so 4 hours, and as a result of this being an intraday sort of chart, I'm using a continuous security, also known as ticker symbol US 500 from Capital.com. Again, the reason why I'm using the continuous security is to make sure that there are no surprises and all of the data is displayed. Excuse me. Okay, so the last few days I wanted to kind of go over the price action. So this right here where I'm hovering on the 9th of November, so basically this Sunday going into Monday, the price has gapped above the blue support resistance line. Again, remember this is a 4-hour chart. So the price gapped above this 4-hour above this blue support resistance line and continued higher towards the new records. The new records were not yet made. The highs are have not been taken out. You can see that we've been sort of struggling with the same pattern. We can see that we kind of move below the blue line and then rally above it. I have marked those points with the white arrows. Indeed, last time we did make record highs on October 29th, but so far we haven't. The important thing is for the latest price action is the way it has been coming out. Notice this on the 7th of November here, on last Friday, exactly 1 week ago, we came down towards this red support resistance line. We landed on it, but then rallied off of it on the same day. Same thing happened this week, this Friday, today. We kind of came down towards the red line, landed on it, and then rallied off of it. So I can see that this red line is acting as support right now. Support that seems to be holding, support held on retest, and this seems like a fairly strong support so far. So currently price has come up to the blue support resistance line and yet to break above it. So notice that we tried to break above this blue support resistance line but have so far failed. So let's see what happens Monday. I have a suspicion that we are going to continue higher, something similar to what we had last Sunday. So let's wait until Sunday to see what's happening, but I think there is a very good chance that we will continue higher from here. Looking at the daily chart, we can look at S&P 500 on daily chart. So there was a couple of gaps that were between 23rd, 24th of October and 24th, 27th of October. Obviously, they were already filled, so all of the gaps are filled. Nothing below here, unless there's another gap way back down here from June of this year. But we don't. I'm not sure if we're even gonna get to that level. This green support resistance line at around 6,500. Currently, I can tell you exact number, 6,571. So it could get tested. I mean, it's not impossible. It's just the way I'm seeing this action on the 4-hour chart seems like my lines, the red line has provided support already on 4 occasions, or actually at least on 3 occasions. There's one right there on October 10th, again on November 7th, and again on November 14th. So far this red line has acted as support, and the price have been able to rally above the blue line on multiple occasions. So let's see again what happens. I mean, it's possible that we'll get a breakdown, but for now I am maintaining a bullish outlook for now. Okay, let's move on to the Forex universe. I don't normally cover Forex, but today we'll cover some. So let's look at Euro first, Euro versus US dollar. Euro versus US dollar. So multi-year highs recently here on September 17th. So far we've been kind of bouncing, kind of moving lower. Nothing very big yet. I mean, we can see that there is a sort of channel maybe like that. I'm not a big fan of this type of market structure, chart structures. I'm looking at my lines mostly. So right now what I'm seeing is Euro is kind of retesting this overhead resistance at around 1.16, and if it holds there and kind of gets its able to close above it significantly, then I think we might see multi-year highs again. But there's also pretty strong chance that we will continue lower. So actually right this instant we have a pretty even chance of price either going up or going down. It's really not much I can tell you, just the way it's playing out. So for Euro versus US dollar, it's pretty finely balanced. It could go either way right now. Same goes for British pound versus US dollar. So notice that British pound versus US dollar support was held here on the 1st of August on the blue line. And yet again, we're trading right around that area. I am reluctant to buy either Euro or British pound right now, and I will tell you why in a second. Just because of the way gold has been acting, and also another security I'm about to show you also had been acting kind of counterintuitive. So I am reluctant to sell dollar. In other words, sell dollar and buy either Euro versus British or British pound. I kind of think that we are done with other currencies dominating. I think dollar is going to dominate from here on, and again I'll explain why in a second. Japanese yen has already broken out. I already have pointed this out back in October, on 7th of October. We see a breakout for the Japanese yen, and now we're seeing a breakout for US dollar versus Japanese yen. So it's USD on top. So this currency pair is moving in favor of US dollar. Japanese yen futures would be the opposite. They're moving lower. So this is sort of, to me, like a very important piece of the puzzle, because US dollar versus Japanese yen is obviously part of the dollar currency index, which I follow quite closely because we trade gold. So when I'm seeing US dollar versus Japanese yen break out in favor of US dollar, I begin to question whether or not British pound and euro are also going to be reversing. And like I said, I am reluctant to buy euro and British pound, and I have a suspicion we're going to continue lower in favor of US dollar. Here's the dollar currency index, US dollar index, DXY. So we did see a breakout above the yellow line, latest breakout right here on the 7th of October. Again, I went above it, below it. Now we're currently trading, above the yellow line since 20th of October. So that's pretty significant already, because notice we've been trading below it for a while. I have a suspicion that we might do something like this. We might touch the yellow line and then rally. So I think it's very much possible that dollar will rally into December, into year end. And again, because US dollar versus Japanese yen already is in favor of US dollar, and if I'm correct and this is a fake out, and I think we should be selling this currency pair, the British pound versus US dollar, and I have a suspicion we should be selling this currency pair, euro versus US dollar. So I have a suspicion that the US dollar is about to go on a tear. By extension, gold has been feeling this type of behavior by the US dollar. So we did make a new all-time high here back in October, 20th of October, and pretty much have been trading lower and making lower lows and lower highs. So right now what I'm seeing the past 2 days of action, I have a suspicion again that because gold is moving lower, I think dollar will move higher very shortly, and so we need to be super careful with precious metals. I'm actually kind of not trading precious metals right now. I'm just watching the action, and I have suspicion that we are about to see gold come under more pressure. And gold miners obviously are doing very similar things to gold itself. So all-time high on the 16th of October, pretty much sold off into late October, and then rallied into early November. But again, we're trying to kind of get above this green support resistance line, and so far not having a lot of success, especially today. So watching the way gold has been acting again is making me suspicious that dollar is about to rally. Okay, and now let's finish up with Bitcoin. So here's Bitcoin. Let me see if I can find Bitcoin futures. Actually, this is an even better chart. So this is Bitcoin futures, BTC 1 exclamation point. So I wanted to kind of compare the futures versus spot Bitcoin. So looking at BTC versus US dollar on Coinbase, I had a position. I sold mine. Actually, I closed out. Let me see. I sold my position right there. On October 17th, I bought it back in April. Made a little bit of money, not like just from. I bought about 90,000, sold half at about 103, and sold the other half at about 106. So a little bit of money, but not like gigantic profits. So right now I have no positions, and notice this action here from right there from November 3rd until today. So notice on November 3rd we broke below the blue support resistance line right there, and then next day on the 4th of November we kind of tried to rally above the blue line but failed, and then again several days later came back to that same blue support resistance line at around 106,800, and it's still was not, they were not able to penetrate, and notice this unraveled today, really strong selling. Notice again where we landed on the red support resistance line, and so I wanted to show you the Bitcoin futures, a very clear price action. Notice this breakdown on the November 4th, an attempt to rally November 11th, and now we are back towards the red line. In fact, technically speaking, we have already entered the bear market according to the Bitcoin futures, if I'm not mistaken. Let me try to zoom in. I have a hard time seeing where the price landed. Actually, no, not yet. We landed right above it. 94,356 and bear market is 94,362. Wow, $3 away. Actually, no, more than $3. It's yeah, $3 away. So very kind of dangerous action. Bitcoin bear markets have occurred in the past. Let me show you what that looks like and how to trade that. So here's the Bitcoin bear market that began on 5th of January 2022, and then we had opportunities to sell it short every time the price came back up towards the red support resistance line. Notice this, for example, opportunity was back on the 4th of April 2022, was good for 61%, as much as 61%. So very strong move sometimes, and then again, and then notice we turned around to a bull market in February 2023, and we've been pretty much in that bull market. Notice how my indicators are super useful to just visualize price action. So right now we're looking at a potential reversal of a trend. This would imply that we may want to consider selling it short by using put option on things like Bitcoin ETF, for example, IBIT. So technically speaking, notice this IBIT is already close below the red support resistance line. So technically speaking, we can start selling it short. So in other words, I would consider buying puts. So if that's what you can do, then you can try that. There's also inverse ETFs that are available. That's it for this week's recap. Head over to MasterChartsTrading.com, click on sign up. So again, I have the indicators. You can just get the indicators, trading indicators, which are available for this interface, TradingView.com. This green, blue, red, and yellow lines are available for TradingView.com. Sign up on my site, MasterChartsTrading.com. Once you sign up, come back to TradingView.com and open a free TradingView account. Send me a message and I will open the door for you so that you can see these indicators on your chart on TradingView. So it sounds a little convoluted, but you know, that's how we do it. That's just the only way to do it right now. If you have any questions, send me a message, contact me. Newsletters. So newsletters, I send out daily alerts and weekly members only videos. So this week we will be covering all of these various securities and ETFs. This newsletter service may be upgraded pretty soon, where you are able to select from the list of various securities, including American stocks and then foreign stocks as well. So we're working on adding you know, a very large number of foreign securities, including Chinese, Canadian, and European stocks. Stay tuned. Right this instant, I'm still at the old pricing level. So if you sign up for either the newsletter itself or the indicators and newsletters, either a monthly or weekly or a yearly plan, then once the upgrade happens, you will receive a free upgrade, no charge for the new service, but the prices will be going up once the newsletter upgrade has commenced. All right, that's it for this week's recap. Again, let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, put a comment in the comment section. That's it for this week's recap. Thank you for watching. Have another great trading week. Bye-bye.